As you can see, we're getting really close on drive time here. There are certain scenarios where it might be safer for you to go over on your drive time than it is for you to stop right where you are, especially if you are in a roadway that doesn't have any exits nearby or there's no safe haven nearby. So if that were to happen, we want to show you what it's going to look like when you go over, as well as how to annotate it so that everything looks correct. Hear the things yelling at us because we're getting really close to our time at the end of the day. So it's going to be really hard for you to accidentally go over and not know about it. But I just wanted you to hear what that looks like and sounds like so that you're aware when you're on the road. Getting close. Click down to 0. It's interesting. It hasn't done anything else to us. Anytime you stop for a little bit, if you're at a stop sign or if you're turning around to go find safe haven, you will notice that if you're over, it's going to beep at you when you start driving again. So I'll just record that quick so you can see what that looks like. So it'll yell at you when you start back up here. It says, "What are you doing? You should know better." All right, so we just powered down after having gone over. And so first things we're going to do is make sure that we get into off duty as quickly as we can. So we just went over on purpose so that we could show you for our logs, and this is what the screen will look like when you get back to it. If you want to change your status, go into off duty as soon as you get back into a safe haven. And then what you're going to want to do is notate on your log the reason that you went over, because that's going to be important later on. So you're going to go to the Events tab. We're going to scroll all the way down. And we're going to go into right here where it says driving. And this is the part that made us go over it. We started at 11:55. You can see right now that it is 12:35. And so we're going to click on that one right there. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see Annotate popped up. We're going to click on Annotate. And in this case, I'm going to write that this was for a training exercise. For your instance, if it was something like, you hit traffic, let's say, accident, mile marker, let's say 310 on I-90. So it's not going to give you very many characters. That's good to know too. So I-90. And so you could say, probably not hit. Hit has a different connotation in this world, huh? So we'll say traffic accident, mile marker 310, I-90. And then that will show them exactly what happened when you were driving that caused you to go over in your miles. Or you could do accident, just say accident and not say traffic accident. You could say accident found next haven. There you go. All right, then you're going to click on submit. And I'm going to do an additional one that says that this is just for training purposes only. And you're still over on your log. So just keep that in mind. But at least now you've correctly annotated everything so that if you were to be questioned about it, it is correctly on here. You can see here it says accident, mile marker 310, I-90, found next haven. And then I also added the for training purposes, but that's going to help you if you ever are asked about it by a DOT officer as to why that happened. Having the mile marker that the thing happened at is very helpful. If they do want to go into checking it, then they can also see how close you stopped to mile marker 310 on I-90. If you're close to that mile marker, then they'll understand. If you're not close, that's where it can come in handy for you to maybe also write on there, you know, you could do another annotation, say, tried to stop at Love's, was full, for example. So there you go. So you can add that on there, and it'll show you that you tried to stop at Love's, but it was full. That's where you can also use when you're driving through there. On your drive screen, I'll show a screenshot of that real quick. On your drive screen, you're going to see that right at the bottom, there's a record button you can click. If you are driving through a full lot on your way to Safe Haven, it's a good idea to hit that record button. It will allow the system to send a message back to Jennifer, basically holding on to that record for 6 months. That could be helpful if we ever are written up. The DOT does have 6 months to write us up for a logbook violation, so having that proof that the Safe Haven was full could be helpful if we were to get ourselves into a situation. So I would highly recommend doing that if you can. This is the best way that you can notate. Obviously, we don't want you going over on a regular basis, but if it's a one-time thing every once in a while because you do run into something like an accident that's unforeseen, then we want to make sure that you know how to notate it appropriately.